owner of the AWF, Call Superstar, 11-time tag team champion of the world. This egotistical bastard is ready to shoot the shit as owner of NJCW, Call Superstar, former leader of the church. This divine jackpot is ready to shoot the shit as Adam Jackpot presents Dirty Laundry with Sacco with Adam Jackpot.
Why don't you go where fashion sits, putting on the Ritz.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Shawn Walsh Show. But today we're going to switch things up a bit. I'm going to remove myself from the host position, and I'm going to turn it over to the host for today, that being Adam Jackpot.
Hello, everybody. Of course, this is not going to be the Shawn Walsh Show today, as Shawn already made clear he won't be hosting. Instead, welcome to Dirty Laundry with Sacco, hosted by Adam Jackpot.
The son of Danny Jackpot.
Because you see, it was supposed to originally be the real name, but, you know, some people have egos. No pun intended. But, we got a great episode today. This is going to be interesting. This is going to feature the current COH Tag Champions Rap Metal, Austin and Levi. And then later on, Shawn will return along with Krack, as we will go through their infamous COH debate, struggle, feud issues that have happened behind closed doors. But today, you get all the bare facts.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, I will interrupt here and there just to be a dick because I'm Jay.
Okay then. Of course, what's a Shawn Walsh Show without a few cameos? So let's get right into it. Of course, Austin, Levi, thank you for joining us.
No problem, man. Not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping we could get Shawn Walsh instead of your ass, but, you know, you're pretty alright, so...
Oh, shit!
It's good to have you here. I'm kidding. I'm playing.
How's it going, gentlemen?
Don't get vicious. Anyway, so let's kick it off with the first question that Shawn always asks his guests, how you guys got your start in Call, whether, you know, first show you ever watched to the first show that you decided to participate in. We'll start with Levi.
I'd be glad to. Alright. This started when I first started to get my interest in Caw. Around late 2011, I subscribed to two YouTubers in one channel, Most Extreme Wrestling, which is Chronix and his wife, Crystal, and we became friends. Yeah, we became friends, and I met up with him in person last year at WrestleMania. Same with Steve and Alex. But, yeah, I got to talk to those guys.
Levi, you're taking too long. Wrap it up.
Hey, come on, man. Let him talk.
Hey.
Boo! Boo
Anyway.
this man.
Anyway, so I got into talks with them. We became friends. Few months passed, and I saw this video with him doing like a bodybuilding thing, looked like a promo, and it was for YWF. And I thought, what is he doing here? And then I go to check out the YWF stuff, and I was like, you know, this is pretty damn cool. I'd like to do something like this. I go to Chronix, who was friends with Marco Rose, got into talks with him and seeing if I could join, and ever since about May 2012, I've been in YWF and Caw in general ever since.
And of course, that involved your transition over to COH later on in your career. And Now, Austin, same question applies for you.
Well, it's funny because the guy who got me into Caw was actually Levi. I had no idea what the fuck Caw was. I've never heard of it or anything. But Levi was talking to me about it over Skype, and I really didn't get it at first, but I saw it, I liked what I saw, and I'll never forget the first match I saw. It was with Levi against, I think it was you, Adam.
Yeah, my debut match in YWF against him.
Yeah, which is fucking hilarious because he won with the headbutt, and that's really that's really pathetic. But
dumbest finish ever to a match.
I don't remember any of it.
Yeah, it was really pathetic, but I did enjoy what I saw, and then eventually I joined, started my Austin Reed character. Then from then, you know, I won the internet title. I have been doing so many big feuds now. I'm in COH and doing this team with Levi, and say about the end of 2012, I've really been, or the middle to end of 2012, I've really been into COS. So it was pretty much Levi who got me into it.
That's so cute.
Let's
I know, right?
Back to this question. Of course, was it YWF where the two of you met originally, or did you meet beforehand?
Oh no, we met about a year and a half before.
Yeah, we've known each other since like early 2012.
And how did that come about?
I think I found him on YouTube. I messaged him. We both had PS3, and we did a lot of PS3 chats when we both got Skype, and we were just talking since then. And
yeah, but hey, remember how you would always say, like back when we were on PS3 talks, that you said my mic was so fucked that your parents thought you was talking to a 50-year-old pedophile.
Yeah, my dad thought that Levi was a pedophile. And this is a weird question because I feel like we're like a couple who met on the internet or something. It's starting to feel kind of gay, but I mean.
Oh no.
Well, to be fair, that's how Sokko and Carol met.
Oh, what?
Oh.
No.
Shawn does look like that 51-year-old pedophile that Levi might have been sounding like.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
If he shaves that shit off, you think it's a fucking baby out of the flesh. Like, this baby is tall as shit. Like, he has to keep the facial hair, man. He has to keep it. I'm not hating on it.
So either way, Sokko, you look ugly either way.
But,
my feelings are hurt.
Let's get back up. Hey, you two are supposed to be preparing for your debate. Let's get back on topic. So, we'll hop into probably your most important venue, which is YWF, which at the moment, I guess, is on a hiatus. I don't know. Maybe one of you...
Well, Adam, I have a question for Levi, actually.
Yeah, sure, I guess.
So, what was it like running over Mama Jams?
Moving on.
So,
moving on.
We'll continue with the question. Of course, both of you have had prominent success in YWF. Austin obviously has had a slight bit more success for himself over Levi. Of course, Levi, your reign over in YWF kind of started off a lot slower than Austin's. So we'll go with you because it's been recently since you've been getting more and more of the exposure. Of course, winning the current U.S. Championship. What is probably I would say that's probably your most dominant and favorite moment of your YWF career?
Yeah, pretty much, because, yeah, like you said, the start of my YWF run was pretty slow. Like, I had the debut match with you. A few shows later, I had a match against a jobber named Assassin. But, thank God, after those matches, I got into that really good feud, probably the only good feud I've had in YWF by far, and it was with the first world champion, the first two-time world champ of YWF, Ryan Sousa, who, just a side note, I wish would come back, but we got into that feud. That feud lasted a few CPVs, and it was very good. It put me on the map. Eventually, Money in the Bank, and then, fun fact here, going into, this was season 3, when I was in that Money in the Bank match. Originally, this is an insider thing, but originally, after Super Brawl 2, which is the WrestleMania of YWF, originally after that show, I was meant to go ahead into the feud with the Patriot for the U.S. title then, but Marco decided he wanted to give that spot to Kiwi Love, and I just thought to myself, well, what am I going to do? He put me in the world title feud against the then champion Carl Jams. That feud was fine, only because of the fact that, I mean, I like Carl Jams as a person, but as a promo cutter, he needed to improve a lot, in my opinion. But he still did fine during that feud. And some people say that those are the best promos I ever cut, which I look back on, I mean, yeah, the delivery was there, but in reality, I was just being a ripoff of so many things. I look back on those promos kind of shamefully. But then after that was all said and done, I guess Marco decided to put me back into the feud with Patriot, or going ahead now. Been U.S. champion ever since April 2014, guilty as charged, and I've been champ ever since.
Well, Austin, we'll go to you. Of course, you've had more success, of course, a former world champion.
Yep.
And undoubtedly involved with the biggest faction in the Fed, of course, Generation Next. And if there's one thing about you and YWF that translates outside of the show, is your on and off, I guess, fake and real life feud with one Amir.
Yeah.
The point of the Shawn Walsh Show is to get all the shit out on the table, so obviously, what are your thoughts?
Well, just talk about I'll talk about the whole Amir thing afterwards, but, the, YWF thing, I did skyrocket a lot. I didn't expect it to happen. The whole thing with Amir was so good at first. Like, I started off the feud with Daniel Anderson. That went well. Went to the Money in the Bank. That was fine. Then, after that, I remember Marco was like, we need to do something with you. And he was like, we're gonna have you against Amir. And I wasn't a big fan of Amir's work, but I knew how much he's done in COD, and I thought this could have been really cool. So, they made it heel versus heel. He just wound up turning face because I was getting a lot of heat as a heel. That turned out really well, and he won the match. And the thing is that it all went so well. Like, everything was so perfect, that end of Season 3 feud. But at the end of our Fully Loaded match, here's another insider. I was supposed to get drafted to Explosion, feud with the Patriot, and win the U.S. title. That shit didn't fucking happen. So I stayed on Mayhem, beat AM Punk, won the Internet title, and then we revamped the feud. And this transitions to the whole Amir thing. This was after the first beef. The first beef was a lot before this, and if you want to clear the dirty air, I honestly, it was so damn long ago. I don't remember too much, but I do remember Amir kind of overreacting about shit, and I think he thought I was sneak this into something. I really don't remember, but I told him everything, got into plenty of Skype calls, I talked to him about it. I really don't talk to him anymore because I don't want to get myself associated, but at the same time, I'm not going to be his friend, I'm not going to talk to him, I'm not going to fucking like his statuses or anything, just stay away. But that all got squashed. And then it came back because I wasn't happy with how Amir was going to take the title from me. I told Chronix and Marco, like, I have no problem dropping the title. It's time. I'm going to go to Explosion, and I'm going to feud for the world title. So I told them I wanted to drop it to TJ Profit, which I thought was fine. TJ, and this for anyone in the call, I'm sure some of you can at least agree, TJ is one of the most underused guys in CAW. He's been getting so
Absolutely.
good, and no company does anything with him. So I told him I'd drop it to him. I have no problem with that. And Amir was like, boy, you gonna drop title to a dude who doesn't even know how to speak English? Your spot was supposed to be mine. I was like, first of all, I won the title because I got voted. I got fucking voted by the quote-unquote YWF universe to be in a title match against Capital Dude. The people wanted me to be in the match. They didn't want you to be in the match. They've seen you in the match plenty of times. They didn't want anyone else. They wanted Austin Reed. Now, I've been doing so good at the time, I thought, alright, it makes sense. I'm not going to win the title. It's just going to be a good match. And I fucking win. I wasn't told about this, but I won. And Amir kept complaining, like, your spot was supposed to be mine, blah, blah, blah. You stole that from me, so you have to drop it to me. And that was BS, because if it was really his spot, he would have been fucking voted. But no, he wasn't. So that was that. I have no problem with him now. And I had no problem dropping it to him because it's fine now. I wasn't going to change anyone's mind. But the whole thing was just him saying, like, I was politicking, which I did not ever. I just didn't like how things were being booked, so I spoke my mind.
Did your issue with Amir have any issue between you and Marco because of it?
Oh, no. Me and Marco get along very well. Probably me and Chronix a bit better. But,
yeah.
Marco has always been a big fan of mine. I've always liked the way his mind works. I just know he's buddy-buddy with Amir. So I know that, Amir is loyal to YWF. But, I think the main reason why, he has been getting his big pushes and everything is just because, him and Marco are good pals, which is understandable. But at the same time, it is what it is. I'm not going to complain. Amir's doing his thing. It's fine. I have no problems with him anymore. But me and Marco are totally fine.
Yeah, and not to mention, Austin, whenever you found out you won that internet title, you were stud surprised.
I had no
when
idea.
I showed you that, like, holy shit, and I'll even tell this to him sometimes. I get a little jealous you won a belt before I did.
Yeah, Adam, we do talk about that a lot, because Levi brought me into CAW. He's been in CAW twice as long as me. The first title I win is an internet title, which is a world title.
That's why I'm stunned, the fact that, obviously Levi had a longer venture with YWF, and you were the one that was skyrocketed before he was.
Yeah.
Was there a reason for this? Was there some bad blood beforehand, Levi?
No, it's just...
Or did they just not see the money?
Well, the short story of it is that Marco was trying to help me out as far as the promos I was doing, because in the very beginning I wasn't very good at the promos. I still needed to learn.
Neither was I.
Yeah, and to Marco, how I started to do better in promos was that Carl Jams feud, but as I said before, I was pretty much ripping off so many people, it's fucking beyond repair. But I thought I was stepping it up during Season 4 because I was doing more meaningful promos, but Marco didn't like that. So he wanted me to do like under 3-minute promos, which if I stay between 2-3 minutes, I can do just fine with. It's just if I go under 2 minutes, that kind of kills it a little bit for me, especially when I'm supposed to try to be more talkative in YWF since I am a player in YWF. But it was just a matter of trying to step up promo-wise, where Austin here, the kid fucking was only in CAW at the time when he won the belt, I think, like 8-9 months?
Yeah.
Something like that. He was getting better and better and better and better and better at promos. So it was right that he won the belt, but I still think, I could have gotten that at some point.
Well, if you want to bring
It'll happen someday, though.
If you want to bring up promos, I think this is a general assumption from the majority of the COH fan base, or COH competitors, and maybe even the same for the YWF, that your biggest issue are your promo skills. See, Austin here outshines you in that, you know? Have you tried working to get better with it?
Well, I mean, people like everybody, or not everybody, but a lot of people thought that I would do better if I did like under 1-minute promos, which I could
understand. For the team, Levi. Just keep that in mind. That's for rap metal specifically.
Well, for the team, I could get that, but the only thing, and I've talked about this with Austin on private conversations on Skype in the past couple days, but I just personally feel, and this kind of goes into me addressing that post I put on the Call Shoot page
We'll get to it.
a week ago, but it kind of goes into that a little bit. But I just feel like if I kept doing these 30-second promos outside of rap metal, it would kind of kill what I could eventually do. You know, like, I want to be up there with some of the best promo cutters there are, like Austin, like Alex, like Steve, Stu, Kevin, Jay, Sacco, hell, even you, Adam. Like, I want to get there.
I appreciate that too, Levi.
Well, you're welcome.
Me too.
Same.
Yeah, it's like I want to excel, but I feel like the biggest problem, when I watch back older promos, that when I first did them, I thought they were good, but I would rewatch them, and they would just sound so bad because, you know how there's those issues with some people where they sound different from just hearing themselves without recording, and then they listen back on a recording and it sounds different? That's been my problem, because my voice kind of goes a little off the wall at times, and I hate that. And also with me using a webcam mic and all that echo, it just... I wish I could get a better mic, or at least get this room sound treated. Then maybe the promos would sound better, but only time will tell.
All right then. We'll keep it with you, Levi, because there's more for you than there is Austin. Austin tends to keep himself quiet unless he's brought up in a situation. You, on the other hand, you're vocal, but sometimes, as what I'm about to bring up, it gets you in trouble, which goes to your shoot issues. Within the past few months, some of your posts have gained negative reaction towards you. The constant I'm going to quit caw posts and your slight, trying to start something but not really. Of course, you've had your issues with some of the YWF competitors. Of course, you've had your issues with Carol.
Right.
The floor is yours. Would you like to address all of your issues finally out in the open for everybody to hear?
Alrighty. Alright, well, grab a snack and a drink, because this might be a bit, because I have a lot to get off my chest about some of these things. But, really, the negative stuff with me pretty much started with Amir. Now, prior to, early, mid-2014, Sacco going to get us.
You can also bring up your Ask issues, of course. Ask has also been a problem.
Yeah, I'll be getting into that too. But really, the negative stuff started with Amir and Steve on the episode Sacco did with Alex and Steve. Steve kind of prefaced this discussion a little bit because Steve himself has had problems with Amir, but he openly said that I've had more problems severe than he had, which is very true. And it all pretty much started. Now, if Sacco, if you want to have Amir on the show, he'll give his response. It'll be what it is, because we buried the hatchet, we're cool, we're actually kind of friends almost. It's just we don't talk very much. But the way I remembered it was shortly after a Skype call that went down between Amir, Steve, Marco, myself, if I can remember, Carl Jams, Chronix, and a young kid in YWF named Deaders, where, yeah, that pretty much describes him. He's a shithead. But what happened in that was Deaders was in spite of Chronix making picture posts saying Deaders is happy to be back in YWF and stuff like that. Deaders, I mean, he was very, very young when I first started talking to him, but he decided to put up this post about Chronix's wife, insulting her, where these two Chronix and Deaders were after each other. Mostly because Chronix was trying to warn him about doing dumb stuff, saying, don't be spamming the YWF page and all this and that, and he kept on doing it, and Deaders eventually crossed the line by pretty much saying that Chronix's wife was a slut, which I saw that post, and I was like, yeah, this kid's gone too far. And I eventually got in the Skype call where Chronix, this is the only time I've ever heard Chronix. I'm telling you, Chronix is one of the nicest dudes you'll ever talk to. And he'll never yell, but this was the one time where I heard him get pissed. I was like, what? Chronix yelling in anger? I didn't think it was possible. But after that, a couple weeks later, and I'm not saying it's true, it's just from what I've heard from people. I'm not saying it's true. But apparently there was a Skype call that happened shortly after between Marco, Amir, and Steve, and I think Travis, where Amir's accusing Steve and Travis of COH stealing ideas, quote-unquote, from YWF. Now, this was also the beginning of the YWF COH drama that happened for a little while, which I was very disappointed in, as was a lot of people. And it pretty much was the start of gradually going downhill with me and Amir, because once I heard about it, I was just kind of, what? What went down there? And then another thing that kind of got me and Amir to hate each other a little bit for the time was I like this YouTuber called We Are Pro Wrestling because I think he's one of the smarter, more sensible wrestling YouTubers I've seen ever since I got into YouTube. And Amir don't like him because of arguments them two have all the time, and it's always over the dumbest shit. And because I was a fan of this guy, because I liked his videos, Amir started to call me We Are Pro Wrestling Jr. At first, it was funny, but then after about a month of doing it, and keep in mind this is just from what I remember, but he kept on going with this shit, and it started to annoy me because I think to myself, and this would go for a lot of people, if people keep doing the same jokes, it's gonna eventually get old, it's not gonna be as funny, so just drop the whole thing altogether. But he kept on at it, and it got me a little bit of resentment toward him shortly after, to the point where I really didn't really talk to the guy on Skype for several months. Like, it'd be once in a blue moon we would talk on Skype just to be sensible. But now that sort of leads into my issues with Nate, Bully Nate, Nate the Great, whatever you may call him, because, and this also kind of goes into that Ask FM crap that happened last year, but it was based off of a question somebody had asked me on Ask FM, which was about how would I rate the COH roster personally based on this criteria, keep in mind, charisma, overness, promo skills. I pretty much just gave how I felt at the time, and then it eventually got posted on the Call Shoot page.
No,
all detailed.
The issue with that is that people were saying that your biasness was a reason for that. Now, is that
well,
true?
I was about to get in that. Like, people were saying I was being biased, which, I'll be honest, if I was to have been, like, 100% biased because of how much me and Amir didn't like each other, I would have given him a 0, and I thought that would have just been stupid. So I pretty much just gave how I felt, and then me, Nate, and Amir all got into this big shitstorm over Facebook messages to the point where I blocked him for a few months, just didn't talk to him for a while just to kind of calm down. And then a few months down the road, I looked back on that shit and I thought, you know what, that was pretty fucking dumb that it went down the way it did. So I pretty much unblocked them, messaged them both saying, hey, I'm sorry for all the crap that went down between all of us. Can we move on and bury the hatchet? And they were pretty much cool with it, and we're all in a much better place right now, so yeah. But as far as Ryan Carroll is concerned,
if you want to talk about that now, we can talk about it now, or unless you want to save it for the debate.
I guess we could save that for the debate, because, yeah.
Then, you wanted to bring up this post that you had posted, what is it, a week ago?
About that, yes.
About that? If you would, the floor is yours once again.
Alright. I pretty much made a post on there, pretty much giving out how I was personally feeling about how I am as a call guy, promo-wise. Not necessarily storyline or in the game, but promos. I just feel like I want to do better, but it's like part of me feels like I don't want to do better, and I wish that part of my mind would just go away. And I just pretty much was just saying I pretty much suck because I can't really get out of a certain tone in promos. And also, another reason why some of my promos may be lackluster is because sometimes when I do them while my family's home and I have to kind of keep quiet. But there have been promos that I've done where I was by myself, and those were some of my better promos, mostly in YWF, but you know, that was that. But I was just pretty much kind of critiquing myself and just saying, you know what, I don't think I'm that good. I never said I was good whatsoever.
But from what it seems like, this seems to be a continuing issue with you throughout your COH career since you started getting traction of you not really believing in yourself enough, and this has come up where you've thought about quitting because you don't have faith in yourself.
Right. That and also just some problems I had, but I mean, yeah, that happened once or twice, but I would just kind of relax and just kept my cool and didn't actually do it, which I'm glad because despite that post, I'm in a much better place right now, so.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
Before we get to the COH thing, I want to talk about two ventures that you guys are doing outside of YWF and COH with your own characters. Levi, your multitude of non-existing federations, and Austin's non-existing secondary WCW compared to Shawn Walsh Show report as well.
Reading the script.
Yeah, Sacco, if you're still in here, unless you're still getting a snack, you're fucking kicking. I can't believe I'm saying this. You're kicking my ass with this shit. Like I was so proud of my goddamn show, and I got so much feedback, and I started slacking on it. And you're clearly winning the podcast wars.
What is the status of reading the script? Are you going to bring it back, or
yes.
Are you selling the company to Sacco and letting him take over completely?
Well, I mean, shit. If he's going to give me money for it, then yeah, the shit's over.
This isn't XWE. We don't do that kind of business.
Yeah, if I'm actually selling it, shit's done. But
so are we getting a podcast war?
Yeah. I'm definitely going to try to get more active. I've had a lot of people in mind. Me and Marco we're going to have this really good one. Chronix wanted to get on it. Travis wanted to get on it. I believe you said you wanted to get on it. So many people want to get on it. And, yeah, Kevin, Nitro, so many guys have asked, and I really need to get back to it.
It looks like Sacco, your competition is back on.
Sounds good. I love competition.
Maybe I feel confident after doing this episode, I decided to do my own as well.
Well, if you ask me, it shouldn't be a competition. It's like, if you enjoy one show, you can enjoy another. And
no, it's got to be a goddamn war.
It shouldn't. It should just be all about the fun.
No,
I mean,
damn it, Adam.
It's not like we're on two different channels and they're flipping through Nitro and Raw's War. Like,
right.
you can watch both.
But so we got the status on that. We'll come to Levi. Of course, your initial fed was ICW. Of course, we all got to understand how to work a ladder match.
Damn it, Scott. And damn it, myself.
Thank you for that groundbreaking journalism. But of course,
moving on.
We'll move on to your other different ventures. Of course, there was supposed to be a fed that was supposed to come out this year that didn't happen, and now you have one planned for it next year that may or may not happen. Would you like to give us some insight of what's the deal?
Alright, well, around December 2013 going into January 2014, that was when I had the original ICW show planned, because I got a Hapog HD PVR2 Gaming Edition Plus capture card and a PlayStation 3, and I had 2K14, which I still have it. Excuse me, yeah, I was getting that going. Like, the first couple of shows I put up, I was just learning how to record and edit, and I didn't really edit the show very well. That it's apparent by the first ever ICW episode I ever put out. It was horrible editing-wise. Scott, most of the credit to ICW goes to Scott, because without him, I wouldn't have learned how to do all the stuff that I did on the very last episode of ICW I posted a year ago, because I did all that episode myself, and it turned out beautifully, despite the commentary kind of being a little bit off sync. That's because that's been my main problem with editing is the commentary. But since I've got a bunch of programs, I can now fix that issue. But the main reason why ICW went out of quote-unquote business at the time was because I was pretty much using a crappy laptop that was slow. I was getting impatient with the rendering times and the uploading times on a crappy laptop. So I pretty much had to close it down just mainly for that. Then I wanted to do a new fed later in the year called CWA, but when I learned that there was another CWA, I was like, well, can't do that now, can't I? But now that I'm a little more active in CAW, which we'll get to more about that in the debate, but now that I finally know how my actual work schedule is and how it's going to go, I have more time to do CAW, which is why ICW's coming back, and I'm so happy because I've got a stacked roster of people, including Jay, Austin, Steve, bunch of guys, Sonny, Patriot, Nate, Rockstone's coming back, Kevin, Stu, so many guys, even some newer guys who are just getting into CAW, guys like a couple of my friends, Seth Cole and Dylan Young. They're just getting into CAW. They're going to try to get into it. And, hell, someday Adam and Sokka will be in it. If they want to, of course.
So,
but
it is coming. Yeah.
It is coming back.
Of ICW.
Yeah, the rebirth is definitely coming back. Once I get a component adapter, because my old one broke, a component adapter for my capture card, once I get it, ICW is officially coming back. And I'm so happy because I missed doing ICW.
Now, Austin, have you ever had the intake of wanting a fed for your own, or are you just cool doing what you're doing?
I'd love to, but honestly, I'd totally overwhelm myself with, my schedule at the moment. I'm gonna have a busy ass summer and shit. But I do love booking. I do help Levi book ICW.
Yeah, he is a co-booker.
Except for myself, I refuse to book myself. I don't want to put that pressure on myself, and I just don't want to do it. Right. So I do help book.
Yeah.
Okay. Then,
and he does a good job. So.
Thank you.
With that, I think we get to the main event of all this before the dessert, which is name association, which is always fun. And trust me, this name association is going to be way different than Sakura's. We're going to get into the reason I guess most people are going to be here watching this is for...
Listen, not watch, you dumbass.
Whatever, sorry. I'm a media...
Well, it is in video format, so technically, but we get the point.
Okay, all we're going to do is just stare at Sakura's face for like an hour.
Yeah, Sako, put on your camera. Don't even look at the fucking camera. Just turn on your camera.
No holds barred. Nothing. Everything is getting let out on the table. Tensions are going to get high. I really hope so, because if not, this is going to be one hell of a boring-ass debate, but I'm going to make sure that you people murder each other with words.
Alright, sounds like fun.
As we know...
I like murder.
Rap Metal, Ego, the tag team feud of the past season in COH. Of course, the only real two tag teams that COH had. Travis needs to fix that. He is trying now, though.
Yeah.
So, everybody got to see everything happen on COH, and it looked like everything was fine. Obviously, there were some hits and some shots here and there from both parties. But what everybody wants to know is what happened behind closed doors. What happened on Skype and what happened on Facebook. Now, Ryan Carroll is not here to give his opinion, but of course we'll hear that through the echoes of Shawn and Jay. So, I'm going to just let it go and just generalize it. What the fuck happened? And I'm going to actually let Rap Metal give their opinion because both you and Shawn Jay have been pretty vocal about it. So,
I'll go. I know a lot of this blame has been on. I know a lot of this blame has been on me, and I don't want to keep repeating myself because I kind of realize I sound more and more of a smug, cocky prick the more that I say it, so I'll try to keep my words to a minimal, because I kind of realize that's the image I've been given over the past few months, which I could give a shit less about. But the fact of the matter is, I have a very busy schedule, and sometimes things are just more important than others. Do I feel bad? Absolutely, because this could have been potentially one of the biggest feuds I've ever done. But I really, and in case you guys don't know, I did have this promo for a Battleground that never made it on the show. I actually think I had 2. So for the 2 that I did get to try to do, they didn't make it on the show. Why? Don't fucking know. But that was just unfortunate. But I just had too many things going on, which is why I couldn't make as many promos. I didn't even get to watch some of the shows. I literally had to ask him what the fuck happened on the show.
Yeah, he did have to ask me.
So, that's that. And I do realize that, why some of you guys are mad that we won the titles.
Right.
But I have a much more open schedule now, or at least I think so. But, I'm doing more promos. But what you have to, I feel like what really made me mad is that you guys have to accept, or not you guys, some other people have to realize it's fucking over. You can't change what happened. We're the champs. It's over. And that's just how it is. Yeah, I may have, not had as many promos as some of the other guys, but the feud's over. You're not winning the titles back. It's just how it is. Some guys just need to get over it.
Austin.
I'm not done.
All right.
I'm gonna be done in about 15 seconds. And just complaining about something that's over with is not gonna help anything. So that's just my take.
Alright, here's the thing. I've said this multiple times, even in the chats. I've said this, that it didn't have any promos. It could have been a post. It didn't take 2 minutes to write a fucking post. It didn't take that hard. We just wanted something, some sort of interaction that we could work off with. And we got nothing. I mean, all we wanted was a simple post. Just a simple post.
Simple post after an episode, reflect on what happened, throw a couple insults.
Now,
as I said, I did make 2 promos which I thought were going to be on the shows, but they weren't. And I had no idea they weren't until after they were done because I couldn't watch the episodes. As I said, I had to ask Levi what happened.
Right.
By chance, these promos wouldn't have been able to be uploaded onto the COH fan page?
Oh, no, I tried. My computer sucks. And Travis did say that he got them. I'm not throwing Travis under the bus by any means. There could have been some computer fuck up. I don't know. It's not his fault. It's not my fault. Mm-hmm. But I did try.
Oh, geez. One at a time.
I was just trying to say maybe it could have been also a video format problem, because he's got Apple, and then probably Travis may have PC. I don't know.
Yeah, I do have a Mac, so that could be different formats. But my point is that I did make promos.
A general consensus for you, Levi, is going along with what Jay said about making a post, was people complaining that if you had the time to make your top 10 lists, why couldn't you have made a post?
I just was... Yeah, I mean, that's just a hobby I have because I just love music, but...
But this is a hobby, too.
Yeah, it's another hobby, but at the same time, I, too, had other things going. I was going on multiple trips with my family, where I didn't know if, the places I'd be at would have internet, where I could record. Also, I was in the process of looking for a job, and that took a little while, up until late March, early April, when I did eventually get hired by a company that would hire me. And after a couple weeks of doing that, when I finally got the true grasp of what my schedule was going to be, it's been ever since I've had more free time to do call, which is why you see me making promos now, because I got more free time. At the time, despite the Facebook shit, I was just doing a lot of other stuff that just got in the way.
Now,
right. I understand that, and I've always put it out there that I understand people got their lives. Call isn't the most important thing, obviously, but so did myself, so did Jay, so did Carol, and I'm not going to speak for them, but for me, like, I was very busy. I had, like, 2 times a week I was going to a chiropractor. I had doctors I was going to. Also during the time there were periods where I was depressed, and I still put an effort to at least make a status, make a comment.
All right, can I?
Oh,
sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
That's okay. And I'm not saying that to, like, say to get any sympathy or anything, but I'm just saying, whereas, yes, I understand you guys have your lives, and things happen and whatever, and that's fine, but the same is on our side, but we were able to take 2 minutes to go make a post, or if a post was made about us, we could have put a little 1-sentence comment.
Yeah, like, it wasn't that hard. Like, I got an 8-hour job. So I'm my IoT for a while. And when I come to work, I'm tired as all hell. But I still have energy to pick up my phone and write a few words on the page.
Alright, well, here's the thing. I don't want to make people feel bad for me, but, like, I got fucking anxiety disorders. I don't want to come home and be like, shit, I did this in school. I got into a fight with my parents. I got into a fight with my girl. Do you think I'm in the fucking mood to write a post or even think about Caw? Caw isn't even on my mind at that point. It's keeping myself sane that's on my mind.
Well,
so, and, like, that's just my take. And honestly, sometimes I'm just not thinking about it. Sometimes I'm just too fucking pissed off. So, and I feel like people who do suffer from anxiety disorders, I don't know if any of you do, I doubt it, but they would understand. Our minds are just focused on keeping ourselves sane and not having anxiety attacks and calming the fuck down. Doing a post is not on my mind whatsoever.
Right. And that's your issue. I don't have it, so I don't understand it, but
That's one of the issues.
Right. One thing I've always looked at is, like, when you talk about how you're mad, you're pissed off, or whatever, a lot of people, I know I do this, and a lot of other people do this too, they take their anger and they channel it into Caw, where
I don't do it with Caw.
It's a great way to help your character and also just let off some steam. You take that anger instead of taking out on someone in your regular life, you take it out on something fictional, and that's
in a feud.
Right, and that's what I did.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If I get into a fight with my fucking parents, I'm not going to go on and get that out on someone with Caw. Like, as some of you know, Levi knows, I do make music, I do rap. Sometimes I might write it in my notes. I might write into a song. I might write in something else. I might vent to my girlfriend or I might vent to my best friend. But, like, I don't ever think about Caw when I'm having anxiety attacks. Ever. Literally, I don't think I've ever thought about Caw or wrestling when I've been really upset.
Here's the question. I'm not asking to be a dick, but I'm just wondering. So you're telling me the entire time during the feud, and this feud, it happened for a few months here, for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have time out. You didn't have time at all to make a post.
Well, I made promos. I thought those made it.
Well, you also did say you couldn't watch the episodes, but you would find out through Levi.
Yep.
Didn't Levi tell you there was no promo? And if
no,
he didn't tell you that.
No. I mean, it's not really important. Like, I don't even know if I told him I had promos. I just assumed he saw it.
Yeah, I'll be honest, like, I didn't know he actually had promos done until, like, a few days ago. I was like, what?
Yeah, like, I just assumed he saw it. I thought everyone saw them. I know Travis saw them.
Yeah, I didn't see them.
Well, I mean, and it's news to me, just like it was to Levi, that you sent the promos, because obviously they weren't in the episode, so there's no way we would have known. And, maybe for your guys' part, maybe would have been better if there's a little communication. At least for me and Carol and Jay. Granted, a lot of the promos we did it together. But if we ever did do a promo separately, we told the other person that we did a promo. We kept our teammates aware, because while
me and Levi normally do that, but most of my promos were rushed. I did them 1 or 2 takes, they were done. Boom, send them to Travis, that's it.
Yeah.
And
sometimes
this isn't the whole time when everyone's like, Levi shouldn't talk, it should be Austin. So that was when that whole thing.
Well, here's the
kinda
thing. We said talk less, not talk at all. Talk less.
I know that's what you said. Some people said no talk. I know exactly what you said.
Hey, you know what? My opinion is much more personal. Levi said, fuck everyone else. My opinion is more important because I'm Krack. Everyone loves me. Talk less.
Now, one other thing is, we had a couple group chats talking about whatever, like us asking you guys, oh, you guys should do more, or even at some point telling you guys to do that. Why didn't you say, like, because you were under the impression that your promos were in the episode. Why didn't you just go say, what are you guys talking about? I've had 2 promos already.
I saw you guys didn't think it was enough. I was confused. I just saw you guys were doing so much more, and like I said, I didn't watch the episodes. I didn't know how much you guys were putting out. I just thought what I was doing wasn't enough. That was my impression. So I was confused. So, and I think at this point maybe 1 promo was out. So I just made another one. So I thought that was it. I assumed it got in. It wasn't. That was it.
Yeah, and keep in mind, like, most of this was after, like, a couple battlegrounds before Anniversary, wasn't it? That's when, that would be when it started, right? Because we did do stuff, like, for the Anniversary build-up.
Yes.
It's just then that time for the Ultimate Glory build-up is just, but... I mean, as far as my part goes, like, my part, it was just the combination of other stuff I do outside of CAW, as well as spending more time with my family and in the process of finding a job, and also a little bit of laziness, and I wish that didn't happen. I really do. I look back on that stuff, and I just think to myself, yeah, that was unfortunate.
Well, and another thing is, too, and again, I understand that's stuff, and shit happens, and and it goes with what I said earlier, but also, too, there's a thing of communication, which we had a lack of. If there was stuff going on, you could have just been like, you didn't have to say what it was, you could have just been like, hey, look, I know things haven't been, we haven't been exactly even as far as work goes, but I have shit going on. Just letting you guys know, we're not, it's not that we just don't care, just shit's going on, we'll get to it when we can.
Exactly. If you would have told us that, we've been a lot more understanding, and I've been a lot less pissed.
Now,
here's the thing. I didn't think you guys would take this feud so seriously. Like, I saw you guys could have, and what's going on in my life, I'm sorry, I don't care, it's none of any of your damn business, none of you. So, my advice...
we said that
you
didn't tell us at all. Yeah,
you don't have to tell us. Like, I to be honest, being very honest, and maybe this sounds mean, but I don't care. And I'm sure that applies to you when I say, like, oh, I had this going on. I'm sure for you it's the same. I don't care, because it's different lives. You don't have to tell me what's going on. You could just keep it very vague to the point. Shit's going on. Can't worry about it right now. And be like, okay. Thanks for talking.
And mind if I also say this, like, another component I felt how it went the way it went, because, and you guys could agree with me on this, but there were a few times I did, especially with Sako, I would message him saying, hey, I thought we could do this one, like...
I'll give you that. You did do that.
And
yeah,
I like that.
I suggested that we could have done, like, a group Skype call into an audio promo for the show. That's what I was wanting to do, but you guys thought it wouldn't work, and there was that whole thing with how I said I wanted Carol in it, and he wasn't in there, and that led to the conflict between us.
And there's something I would like to add, and I know Jay remembers this because he was in the call. Before the feud started, when this was just starting up, I remember I told Jay I had a whole plan of what me and him could have done for comedy bits, if he remembers that. I remember that clearly.
Yeah, I remember a bit of it, yeah.
Now,
that was way before the feud, though.
hello?
Yeah, but I'm just telling you, at some point,
Let Adam say
stuff got
I am the host.
Let Adam say something here.
This is my show.
Go talk, you dumbass.
What? I was letting you people talk to get your things out of the way, because Levi brought up something I wanted to transition to the next part, which is Carol. I know especially from Jay's end, Levi, you and Carol's issues have been a huge component as well into all of this, causing Jay to have massive rage quit. This is the part where, I would say, hey, Carol, what's your point? But he's not here, so I'm going to let Sako talk for Carol, because he's closer. What's the deal? What's this problem that you two have with each other? Obviously, Carol says some things, Levi tends, Carol's kind of been one of the components to Levi's issues with wanting to quit COH. Is it only...
That is true.
Is it only because of this feud, or is there something deeper that we don't know, that the fans want to?
It's a fat boy thing, that they only want.
Oh.
Let's get to the bare minimum. We want the juice. We're fucking vultures. Give us it.
Alright, now, I know Carol, so I know how he operates, but I think everyone at least generally knows about him is Carol. He's not afraid to say what he thinks about you. He doesn't care what you think. And even if, and he knows sometimes the way he comes off is not maybe how he intends. He comes off a lot meaner and a lot more of a dick in his approach than he maybe sees it as, or sometimes just doesn't care. I've known Carol for a couple years, and I know.
Sorry.
I know, so I know that's him. I know, and I can understand when he's actually when he's actually being mean, or that's just the approach he's taken. Now, I remember there were chats a couple times this happened where Carol he'd be blunt, he'd be very honest to Levi, and he would say that he does not like Levi, which he doesn't. And he made that a point to Levi to let him know that he doesn't like him. And to where maybe at first like, oh, geez, this guy doesn't like me, but from where Carol was seeing it, and I do agree with him on this, not everyone's gonna like you. You're gonna work in the real life world, you're gonna work with people you don't like, and it's just a plain fact, but Levi seemed to be offended by that, or it didn't understand that, and would remove him and whatnot, and then he would go on to say stuff like, oh, why are we even feuding if we don't like each other, when there's been plenty of people in Caw who have had dislike for each other, and they've feuded, or in wrestling, which Caw comes from, there have been so many fucking people who are wrestlers who can't stand each other, but they feud it.
Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels.
Now, Levi,
Edge Matt Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
Your response to said statement.
Well, I mean, my thing with Carol, I don't hate the guy to the point where I want to beat him up. I don't.
We all do.
Yeah, we all do.
Gauntlet match.
Well, I'm sorry, that was funny, but I just don't like the guy because of how he is around me. I said it on Austin's show a month or so back. I don't remember when that episode was done, but I said on that show, and I'll be happy to bring it over here, I feel when it comes to just normal conversations, Carol seems to be two-faced around me, because most of last year we were cool, and then before, from what I can remember, he just started to flip his lid around me, because, I mean, to me, if he's gonna hate me or don't like me because of a Caw thing, that's pretty ridiculous. I look at it as, just talk to the people for their personality, not for a cause thing.
Well, the thing is, it's not that he just formed an opinion that he just doesn't like you because of Caw. He just... You said because of personality. Well, he doesn't like your personality. He doesn't like you. And, yeah, there was a time where you guys talked and it was fine. And yeah. And you say that's Carol being two-faced. I don't believe that to be so, because there was a time where you guys were friends or associates, what acquaintances maybe. And then it got to a point where you could tolerate each other, and it got to a point where, did the Caw stuff add to it? Certainly. Maybe it was the little bit more that just brought it to the point where you guys just couldn't like each other, but it wasn't just Caw, and it got to a point, and if you notice, that's what happened when you and Carol, you guys didn't talk, we didn't get in these big calls and whatnot, because the issues got worse and worse, whether they were up front or not. And it doesn't make you or Carol like cowards. That's just because, for the betterment of everyone else, usually people unless it gets to a point where it's bad, people usually like to keep quiet for everyone else so there's no arguments. But in that time of that quietness, it built up inside, and it got to a point where he didn't like you, and I'm sure you don't like him, and that's what it built to. So I don't see it being two-faced. It's just it built up and gradually got worse.
Yeah, but you see, the thing of it is, like, the big question I would always say is, aside from jokes and all that crap that was just meant to be that, jokes, my only problem was, what did I do to him to get him to not like me? And when I never really talked to the guy all that much, I would just keep my things to myself sometimes. I didn't, try to threaten the guy. I didn't try to mess with the guy, other than just simple jokes here and there.
Let me explain Carol. Carol is just... He has sharp patience, he really does. Mm-hmm. And if he finds you annoying just a little bit, it's gonna get a little bit bigger as time goes on. Like him, he's bigger now. And yeah, he's just very easily just annoyed by everything. And Levi, you do have a somewhat annoying personality sometimes.
Well,
you run jokes to the ground hard.
I know, but
you killed my cookie joke. You really did, and
wait, killed what? The what joke?
The cookie joke. You ruined it.
This is my show, and there will be no mention of cookie.
Adam, how often do I listen to you at all? That's what I thought.
I got fucking silent.
No, wait. I have one moment that I want to talk about, and it was in a chat. And no, Adam, this is not you at all. Me, Sako, and Carol messaged you, Levi, and Austin, right? And it was a night where we asked, okay, guys, can you please do something? Oh, by the way, are you cutting a promo? Because it's the go-home show. And Levi said something that really ticked me off. Absolutely pissed me off, because I'm like, what are you talking about here? He says, well, Carol, we were waiting for you to cut a promo. And I'm there, and I'm like,
well,
what?
keep in mind, it was meant for this segment that I was talking to Sako about that I wanted to do.
Yeah,
as I'd say, in Levi's defense, he was waiting on that shit till the very end where he just couldn't do it anymore. Levi didn't give up on that idea.
I was waiting to do that.
I had no idea what the hell you were talking about. I'm like, what the fuck? Are you serious? I was so pissed off because the last time I checked, we were waiting on you. Carol was not the fault at all. If anything, it's also my fault because I was sick during that time. So they were waiting for me to get better to cut a promo. And I'm like, what the hell? How's it Carol's fault? And I wanted to so bad go off on you. So bad, because I was just so heated at you. How dare you blame Carol for this? I mean, Carol could be a dumbass, an idiot, a jackass, a fat ass, a retard, but that time he did not deserve the blame whatsoever. He didn't, and I was just so heated.
Now,
Well, I mean, if there was just a little confusion as far as how it came off, that's understandable. Because it was meant to be just to be said that I was waiting on him to come in and do this segment that I had wanted to do with Sako and you guys for a while, but, I mean, I could understand you got mad at that because it came off that way, and I'm sorry that it came off that way. It was just meant to be the short, sweet saying, we were wanting to wait for him to come in and do this segment with us.
Now, before we wrap this up, I just have 3 more points I just want to get out of the way. 2 of them will be a little bit quicker. The first one, I'm going to try and lighten the mood here. What was rap battles? A true, honest opinion of the impression promo that happened.
I thought it was funny, but the only thing I could have lived without was mentioning the whole Facebook metal album post that I do from time to time. That could have been left out, but other than that,
oh no,
I thought it was funny.
That could not at all.
No.
We needed that.
Well, that's you, Jay. I'm mainly talking with like Sako and company, but yeah.
Well, there's only 2 people in Brian. I don't know.
Well, yeah.
I don't know who Brian is. Austin, what was your take of the impersonator?
I honestly don't remember it, to be honest. I was probably stoned.
What?
I don't remember it.
What?
It was promo of the year. Well, should have been.
Promo of the year. It was up there, damn it.
Well, let me explain. We turned to you very, very hard. Very, very hard.
Alright.
Took about, 7 takes for the 3 of them to do that.
Oh, it had to be perfect.
Yeah, I don't even think I saw it.
That is blasphemy. You are no longer allowed to talk anymore. Okay.
But I do also remember that because after that I did make a response audio thing back on that.
Oh, I just wanted to get the opinion from the true person, not the call character.
Well, yeah. Well, I was just saying I just remember that impersonation promo because my audio thing came after.
Now, this next question more directed towards rap metal than all 4 of you. Sako and Jay can chime in if they want. But, of course, because of this feud, we saw what the backlash was. It seemed that it was 99.9% in favor that you guys should have never won these belts, nor should you have them currently. Your response to the rap metal haters out there who were saying that you guys don't deserve anything that you got because of how much ego put in.
Alright, I'd like to go first on this. I don't give a shit what anyone says because I know our plans were going to be some of the best damn tag champs that there are. So now that I'm active now, that's not shots fired. Yeah, shut your mouth, Jay. I'm talking. But,
okay.
Yeah. There's no reason for us. I know where they're coming from, but honestly, I'm sorry, it's just a bunch of bandwagoners. I don't remember who said it at first, but a ton of people are just bandwagoning off what someone said. And, it's not like anyone's still complaining now. It's just a big thing blown out of proportion. Do we deserve the belts? I think we do, because it's been built up since day one. And there's no way we're not going to win them, because, we've been built for so long. It was just this time period. It was just bad timing. And honestly, look at the draft. Do you think Ego is going to hold on to those damn titles after the draft? No, it's stupid. Me and Levi are still on Battleground, and we should be champs. We're going to have an amazing run, and I don't care what anyone says because it's over. You're not going to change it, and at the end of the day, all these motherfuckers are going to love our tag run, and everyone's going to become an even bigger fan once we're done with these titles. So, that's my take, and those are facts.
Well, my take's a lot less nad than Austin's.
Yeah.
I did mention during the issue period, I did mention to Travis a couple times, if Ego feels this strongly about this issue, then let them retain. I was actually in favor at that point to let you guys retain. That Travis can tell you that too. I was telling them, if they felt this strongly, let them retain. And, yeah.
But at the end of the day, guys, it's up to Travis. What Travis wants, what Travis thinks is right, Travis is going to get, and at the end of the day, that's probably what's going to work.
So in other words, we blame Travis. Got it. Travis, you idiot. You ruined everything. You ruined this good feud. How dare you? You're a failure. And you dress funny, and you smell funny, and you look funny.
You smell funny.
The
Good.
The quotes that we have just heard from Jay Krack are not reflected on Dirty Laundry with Socko host by Adam Jackpot. They are reflected, though, on the Shawn Walsh Show.
What?
So don't take any issue with me.
Adam agrees with me that you smell funny and you look funny.
I don't agree with any of
By the way, this episode is brought to you by Netfisk.
Okay, we're not going to get into this.
Okay, now...
Bad timing, Levi.
If the opposing side would like to make a short rebuttal,
Oh, I do.
they're allowed to.
Jay, you want to go first?
Yeah, please. Okay.
But I mean short rebuttal. Short rebuttal.
Like I said in the podcast, if I knew that this would have happened, that you would have put in much work at all, and I still mean this, and I know it's gonna sound harsh, it really is, but I would have screwed you out of the titles in a heartbeat. I would have, and I mean that. I know it sounds harsh. It really does.
I don't care, sir.
And I would have found another tag team and said, here, make them do it. My first team I want to give to was the New Movement. I was willing to drop to them. Like I said, if I knew that you guys weren't going to do much work at all, I would have fucked you over so hard. You had no idea.
Literally and figuratively.
And mentally.
Now,
Jeez.
with that, with the whole tag team title thing, obviously this is built up because we were the two best teams, and with the teams that were forming, it made no sense for us to drop the titles to a team like the Black Wolves or the New Movement, and we understood that. However, as time went on, and we saw what happened, I remember there were a lot of conversations that myself, Carol, and Jay were having, where like Jay talked about that he would have dropped it to the New Movement. I'm in, and maybe it would have been a little too early for them, but I'm a big fan of New Movement, Black Wolves, Future Flight, and such.
Right.
And again, I'm with Jay. Although this sounds harsh, if I would have gone back, I probably would have either suggested to change it, or one idea that we were pitching, because Levi talked about how he even said, oh, if they want to retain, then have them retain. One idea we kept pitching to Travis was that we would retain the tag team titles at Ultimate Glory, but then on the draft show, we would basically do what Fisk did with the Pride title, and we would drop it, because I'm pretty sure that it's well-known knowledge that the Great D was going to win that title.
Yeah.
And obviously, plans changed, as we saw Great D ended up not winning the title and ended up getting released. I guess he's back. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe. Who knows? But regardless, that's what happened. And we were pitching the idea. Me, Carol, Jay, were like, Travis, have us win Ultimate Glory. We don't need to hold on to the tag team titles for after the draft show. We understand. We're going to Slam. Give them to anyone else. We'll drop to New Movement. We'll drop to the Black Wolves. We'll drop to Future Flight.
Autistic black people.
Sure. We would have.
Socko is not feeling that joke.
It's not a joke.
We would have dropped it to anyone. And Travis, he didn't want to go for that. Although he went for it with Fisk, which I understand that, but I was kind of like, he's taking our suggestion there, but putting it for the Pride title. And when it comes to the people who were saying Ego should retain, you could look at it from how Austin sees it, and people jumped on the bandwagon and whatnot, and they were like, oh, well, such and such said that Ego should win, so we all think Ego should win. I don't see it as that. I see it as, over time, more people saw it. One of the people being Sonny, who made quite a few... Sorry, Sonny, throwing you under the bus. He made
Poor Sonny.
He made a couple posts on...
One.
Yeah, a couple posts on Ask FM.
Sure.
Talking about how he thought Egotistical Bastards should retain the tag team titles over Rap Metal. He listed his reasons why, and I agreed with what he said. Now, granted, me, Carol, and Jay, we said the same things, but we kept it quiet. We didn't go and air it out on Ask FM or Facebook or anything like that. Sonny did that, and that's his prerogative, and maybe from there, more people saw that, and then maybe some things were said, and some people also agreed with that, to the point where, although the feud was supposed to be Rap Metal as these faces who come so close but don't get the titles, and then Egotistical Bastards being this team that just keeps holding the belts, we're the dominant team, and the plan was supposed to be which ended up happening, go to Ultimate Glory, the evil heel Egotistical Bastards lose the tag team titles, Rap Metal gets their big moment, they're the tag team champions, but it's almost like it was a double turn out off the show, because all the COH fans and a lot of the COH roster members were cheering for us.
Alright, I look at it this way. I'm gonna keep saying this. Once our run is over, no one's gonna fucking remember that. That's all I'm gonna say.
And I'll be honest, and I'll actually be honest, like, if Travis would have done what I did suggest for that period of having you guys retain, like I said, I would have been fine, because for me personally, I mean, and I've said it to Austin several times, like, I've had fun with him as a tag team, but I feel like if I were solo, it'd be better for both of us. Which, that could have, if Travis would have listened to me right there, that could have been like the final nail in the coffin for Rap Metal as far as a team, because up to that point, you look at the storyline, we never won a single CPV match together. We always lost. I figured what could have happened that could have definitely shaken COH right now is if Ego would have retained. Right after the match, Austin would turn heel, beat me up, and we'd have a little feud, and then I would get written off. That would have been fine, but it didn't go that way. Even I, a little bit inside, it's like half of me was like, well, we're champs, but half of me was like, I don't know.
Yeah, but like I said, it's not our fault that we won. We're not the bookers, and I'm not saying to blame Travis, because, like I said, our run's going to be amazing. And at the end of it, everyone's going to be glad that we won the titles. But it's not our fault. Like, we're the champs, and it's over now, and I just think it's... Like, I understand what you're talking about, to clean the dirty air, but it's over. That's just what you guys got to realize. It's over.
Oh, yeah. We all realize it. Like, me, Carol, and Jay, we've moved on. We got our own thing going on.
Mitch was going to lead me to my last question. Is everything perfectly fine in Nirvana with Rap Metal and Ego, inside and outside of college?
Well, I'll go first this time.
Yeah, you should.
Well, with Carol, I've just been kind of just avoiding him just to kind of chill out between us. I honestly don't know about it with it now, but as far as like Jay and Sako, for me, you guys can agree with me. We're not hating on each other. We're actually getting along, and we're pals. Yeah. I mean, hell, like, and I said to Austin throughout the whole thing, the whole problems, I commend Sako for being as calm as he was throughout the whole thing. Yeah. I absolutely commend him for that, because others had our moments of being hotheads and look back on it and think, yeah, that was pretty stupid on all of our parts. But now we're in a better place because, like I said, me and Austin, we finally got our shit together, especially with me, because like during that job hunting period, it was like, well, what's going on? And then I finally got hired, figured out my schedule, and I thought, oh, this is a pretty good schedule. I have more time to actually help out, and
that's great.
And that's fine, and that's why you see me doing more now. It's because I finally, after all this time, finally figured out something. Now I stick to it.
Alright, so everything's good with Levi, Austin?
I've never had any problems whatsoever with Jay nor Sasha.
Exactly.
At all. I think you're some of the coolest dudes in Caw. Jay, I've
Absolutely.
been a big fan of yours for a while.
Everybody hates Carol.
Everybody.
Alright, I'm not
Can we go into that quick story real quick?
No.
It's mostly with.
Wait.
I don't think we have time for stories.
Yeah, like
it's
say,
short.
I'm not,
It's short.
I'm not gonna say anything about Carol, but I will say this: I'm staying the fuck away from him. I'm not gonna.
Same here.
It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. And
Well, no,
talking about him is just a waste of my time.
No, I do have a question. Now, I'm not gonna go into like.
You still got name association, by the way.
I know.
We'll get to that.
You guys know what I'm referring to with conversation. I'm not gonna go into detail with that because I think we can all agree that is better left private.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I do actually have a question for Austin, which it's nothing personal. It reflects from what I was being told the next day. With the events of the night prior. Let's just say, for the viewers at home, would say things got out of hand. Obviously, emotions were running rampant.
They want to know everything, though.
Yeah,
they can know everything. That's the thing. I have a life.
Yeah,
and all these internet motherfuckers don't need to know it.
Yeah, because some things are better left private.
I was told that next day when I was on the bus getting home from school that you Austin were in a Skype call with Travis, which we talked about, which is correct. From what I was being told, now Travis was informed of what the events that happened and what was said. From what I was being told was that at least you gave, maybe either you told Travis or you gave Travis the idea in his head that he thought that you gave him the impression at least that he thought you were gonna quit.
I was thinking about that because
is true. That is true.
Yeah, it is, and I'd like to say it was just a quick little emotional moment, not emotional as in I was crying, but like emotional as in I started things differently. And I just thought there's so many people in Caw, like, I have such a better life than so many of these people. I don't need to waste my time with some of these people. And some of these people are just so immature. And, like, I'm a young motherfucker. I'm 16. Like, some of these people are, like, in their 20s, and they act like they're 6, and it's pathetic. And I have such a better life than so many of these older people, and I just thought, why am I wasting my time? It's not even and this was at the point where I was still busy. It's like, this is a hobby I don't even have time for with people who are immature, so I should just quit. So I talked to Travis, we talked about it. I kind of realized that wasn't the best idea. Now I have more time. I don't talk to Carol. I don't talk to anyone else. It's all over now. But yeah, it's true. I was thinking about quitting at one short point.
Okay, because I wasn't sure, because ever since that day, I've always been wondering if that was just Travis just interpreting that he thought you were going to based on you being angry, or you actually flat out said, like, you're thinking of quitting, or you're going to quit. And I'll air this out there, and I was told by Travis, because Travis messaged me, and he immediately told me that he was talking to you, and he told me that if you did end up quitting, it was on Carol's ass.
Yep.
So, and as you know from that day, I quickly tried to, make things nice and smooth. That's why I messaged you.
Same here.
Yeah.
Like, me and Sako were trying to get this all sorted out.
Yeah, because I don't think, like, I'm not saying this to be egotistical, I don't think anyone in Caw wants me to quit.
No.
No, absolutely not.
Because not trying to sound Caw, I think I'm pretty fucking good. I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, it's not something I'm not gonna hang on to for my whole life. Just something fun. But if it does get to a point like that, then I might as well. Because I'm just gonna say it's like, and this goes. I hope this goes for everyone. I don't want any 60-year-old doing Caw, but I will say this: there's gonna be a point in my life.
But I gotta retire.
I'm gonna. There's going to be a point in my time where I guess I'm going to hang up the boots. You know what I mean? But it's not. I don't think it'll be anytime soon.
Nah, same goes for me.
So, there you go, everyone. Rap Metal fought Ego with words and everybody got to hear the whole story except Carol's half. But then again, who really wants to bother with that?
Oh, you don't want to know
Well,
about
I mean-
the catering stories. Oh,
Oh,
God.
Wait.
Damn.
He's the real cookie corp.
Cookies were involved. They were eating a lot of cookies. Oh man, it was.
Such your cookie, Junior. Anyway, so now that that's taken care of, everybody got to hear that part. This is probably the part where you turn off the video because you don't care anymore.
Of course they.
But there will be some who will watch for this.
Well, let's get on with the fun part, which is name association. Now, Shuckle's giving me free range.
Yep.
But Levi told me about this. I totally forget how this goes.
Meaning I get to say what the fuck ever, whoever I want. Pretty much name association is, it's going to be very simple, it's going to be very quick, and we're going to get this over with.
Alright, so you say a name and I give my thoughts.
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much like Jerk.
Let's try and keep it to a quick thought, because we've gone over a pretty big limit at this point, I would say.
Hour and a half almost.
Yeah, I think you should do some for Levi and some for me. I don't think the same should apply to both of us.
So, well, I'll try and be as general as possible for both of you. Also, I'm going to be throwing in my own personal names because, well,
Oh gosh.
I've been given free range. So, let's start off with something simple and something easy. We'll start off with Marco Rose.
You go first, Austin.
The both of you answer this.
Awesome voice, funny guy, great mind, and good guy to talk to.
Yeah, he's funny. Nice guy. I almost met up with him in New Orleans last year, but yeah. And I thank him for giving me a break and call. If it wasn't for him and Chronics, I would not be here.
Steve and accuracy. The both of you can answer.
Steve, in my opinion, is probably the best guy Kaw has to offer. That goes for any character. I think he's a great guy. I wish him the best of luck in his stand-up career. And I'd love to meet him one day.
While on the other side of the spectrum, I have met Steve. Met him at WrestleMania. We spent the whole time at Access together, and it was fun. But him as a call, probably the best. Any gimmick he does is always gold. He's pretty funny. He's a really nice guy. He's really chill. Never once have I had an argument, or hell, maybe even a disagreement. We've always been cool, and we talk on Skype from time to time. And whenever... Even before the rap metal ego stuff happened, even when there was negative stuff handed towards me, he would defend me at times, and I appreciate him for that. So, thank you, Steve.
Scott Adams?
One of my best pals in Kaw. He's a British fuck, and sometimes he needs to eat his fish and chips and calm down, but he's a great dude. He is a great dude to talk to. Very funny. I love listening to him. Very people. Great call guy. And I will bet, if I was in Vegas, I would bet all my money that he is the next COH champion.
Oh, Scott. Despite the ladder match comedy from the original ICW, but other than that, me and him, just like also another one of my best pals here in Kaw, we talk a lot. Mainly through PS4, and like I said earlier, without him helping me out how to edit and stuff for my shows, that last ICW show I put up last year wouldn't have turned out as well as it did.
Alright. We're going to throw in one of my random names. We're going to go with D'Lo Brown.
One word. Draws.
See, I was thinking the same thing. He lives in a wheelchair now.
No, I'm kidding. I think D'Lo Brown is kind of underrated, and he has the most underrated frog splash of all time. That was a beautiful frog splash. He was an alright European champion. He's fat as shit now, so that's all I have to say about him. But I was a fan.
Yeah, same here. If I can just describe him one word, underrated.
Alright, we'll continue on with basic stuff. We're going to go with Amir. You've given your point, so we'll hear from Levi's perspective on a little bit more.
Well, despite the issues we did have for a while, me and him nowadays, we're cool. I mean, he might have some disagreements with what I said here on this show, but it's like I said, if Sokka wants to have him to give his response, feel free. But, I mean, I'm not going to be like Steven say he's not a guy I would invite over for dinner and have him just go after me for it, but I mean, we don't talk as much, like I said, but we're cool. We don't argue against each other, and I intend to keep it that way.
Okay. This seems to be a popular one that's Sean likes to bring up all the time. Andrew, a.k.a. Fisk.
He's gotten this Fisk thing really out of hand. I don't even know who started the whole Fisk thing. Like,
it was Stewart who started
like
it.
the whole Cards Against Humanity thing, like anal fisking would always be like a
Fisk
blank card.
porn.
Yeah, but I think he's a great call guy, and he's really showing like the younger guys can, like myself and him, can really go and talk. But I think he's great and good guy.
Yeah, like I said, go subscribe to NetFisk. But besides the Fisk jokes, as a call guy, he's definitely very good. I mean, it's like I've said before. Once he goes through that self-esteem hurdle, he'll definitely be one of the best, and he's starting to show that. As a person, another one of the nicest guys. I always have gotten along with him, and in fact, Fisk is a guy I want to feud with someday, and I think it'd be interesting. A heel monster versus a badass babyface.
Well, there you go, Travis or Marco, if you're watching this, because both the characters are in both feds. Book it. Maybe it'll be money. Next person, we're going to go with Travis.
Travis, probably the most open-minded call owner you will find. Really funny dude, really easy to talk to. Apparently, according to Jay, he smells weird. But yeah, awesome guy.
He doesn't
great
smell that bad. I've been with Travis. He doesn't smell that bad.
Hey! You had your part. Fuck out.
I'm sorry.
Come back next week.
My name's on the show.
Not this time, it ain't.
Yeah, great guy. Travis is a great guy, great owner.
My show.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he's one of the best call owners there is. As a call wrestler, very, very good. Watch like his past stuff as Travis Wright in the YWF when he was Internet Champ. He was awesome. He even admitted himself that he really regret not going to New Orleans just to meet up with me, because he really does want to, and I want to meet up with him someday, and that'd be a fun trip. But other than that, also very open-minded. Like, he'll listen.
What did I say?
Hey, Taco,
Not your show.
Taco,
My show.
shut up. This is my moment, bitch.
It's my show.
Alright, but yeah, like Austin said, very open-minded when it comes to, ideas for call. Like, he'll listen to what you have to say, and he'll let you know what he thinks, and if it's gonna happen, it's good. If he just wants to come up with different tweaks to it, you stand and listen.
Okay.
There you go.
We're gonna use another one of my random people. We're gonna go with Heidenreich.
Oh God, that's a really. Oh jeez, if I would have never guessed you would have said Heidenreich in a million years. I always thought he was kind of retarded, like Eugene's uncle or something.
Oh jeez.
I never liked.
That was
never,
Eric Bischoff.
Never was a huge fan. His wrestling wasn't that great. I really think his feud with Undertaker was strange. The whole thing with Michael Cole still scars me. And then when he turned face and teamed up with one of the Road Warriors, it started becoming like a big teddy bear. It really confused me, and I don't know. I'm not a fan.
One word: rapist.
All right.
All right.
Well, I have 4 more people. We'll just get through. We're gonna go Mocha Bane.
Oh, Mocha. Fuck. Oh, dude. I'm so glad I get to work with him. He is awesome. He's again he came in, took the YWF by storm. Such a great guy. I haven't talked to him, but I've heard stories. Seems really down to earth and a great talker. Just everything is what you need to be good in call, and just everything. I think he's a great guy.
I feel ashamed I didn't get to talk about him with the YWF stuff earlier, because me and him are technically in a feud. But besides that, yeah, I mean, aside from like Marco and Chronix and that group of guys, I'm probably the only one who's talked to him as deeply and more often than other people in call, and and I say this because it's true. He is super, super nice, super, what's the word I'm looking for? yeah, he's super down to earth. Like, he'll actually motivate you and help you out with certain problems you may have. Like, I've talked to him on Skype or something like that at least 4 or 5 times. Sometimes camera on camera. And it was always a fun talk. And so glad, I mean, technically we've been feuding for 2 years because we always take jabs at each other in promos and YWF, but we just haven't had that one-on-one match, which some people have said in YWF would be the most anticipated match in YWF history. Myself, Mocha Bane. And I can't wait for that to happen someday.
We'll go with Alex Enterprise.
Alex, again, one of the best guys Kaw has ever had. I'm ashamed but happy at the same time. Not happy that he's gone, but I understand why. Because, you know, I do also make music. I know that you got to really focus on it to do it. I think he's a great guy, really funny. Shit, if I saw him, I'd smoke him up in a fucking heartbeat because he's fucking hilarious when he's stoned. And I wish him the best of luck in his music.
Yeah, his music is awesome. It really, really is. He's another guy I met last year in New Orleans, and I had a blast with him. Kind of at this point, because we talk a lot on Facebook, he's kind of almost like a brother, almost. Like, I can go to him whenever I'm feeling down, I can talk to him. Same with Austin and a few other guys about how I'm feeling about certain personal problems, and they help me out. Alex is up there in that list, and just a super nice guy. And Sako, you were lucky to meet up with him too. That had to have been a blast with
that was great.
those guys. Yeah, it was a blast when I hung out with him, Steve, Chronix, and Crystal at Access last year. It was awesome. But I hope to meet up with again, and I heard Insider, him and Steve may be in Orlando again in September, and if I can find a way to get there, I'm going to. And that's going to be a fucking time of my life. And no, Jay, not the damn song, so don't you even think about it.
Well, Chronix.
Who?
Chronix. And
Chronix.
And if you want to add Crystal in there too, because I would think you guys have probably talked to her more.
Once or twice. But Chronix, he is, like, I wouldn't say he's totally the reason, but he is a huge part of why I'm as big as I am in YWF. Like, obviously I did my part, but he's believed in me since day one, and, you know, like, he always has something for me. He always wants me to, you know, do well. Super cool guy to talk to, really nice, super down to earth. He's another one of those guys you'd want to work with if he's the owner or if he's a wrestler in the company. He's just an awesome guy, and never know, might get an Austin Reed Chronix feud at some point. But I think he's awesome.
It's like I said in the beginning, without him, I wouldn't be in CAW because of that video I saw. But yeah, I've known Chronix since 2011. Same with Crystal, and I've probably talked to Crystal more than Austin has, mostly through Twitter. But I did get to meet up with her and Chronix. But yeah, Chronix and Crystal, both two very good people. They're a cute married couple. They really, really are. Like, they're so perfect for each other. Both fellow metalheads, just like myself, and that makes me even more happy. But yeah, Chronix, he's another one of those guys who's like one of my best friends and kind of like almost like a brother to me because we have a lot in common. And I hope to meet up with them again someday and have another blast.
And the last person I'm going to do is I've been waiting for this for so long. Sako knows what I'm about to say. Connor the Crusher and why he's dead.
Oh my God!
I've been waiting so long.
So you want me to give why he's dead or my thoughts on Connor?
Oh, you could give both, but neither of you are going to know what the answer to the question is.
Why he's dead?
Sako knows why.
Why he's dead? I don't know. Is he related to Chris Benoit?
No.
Oh, wow! Wow!
That's how I'm gonna end. That's how I'm gonna end my part of the podcast. That's how I'm gonna end it.
Oh my God!
I've wanted the Daniel Benoit, Connor the Crusher Inferno match to happen for a long time.
Oh my God!
I have the freedom of speech. Sako gave it to me.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh. What a way to end his part.
But I'll if Levi would like to continue, if not, I'll wrap this up.
You guys pretty much blew it out of proportion. I don't need to say anything.
Well, then,
Good lord.
With that being said, I just want to do two things. One, I'm going to plug my show, NJCW. Go watch it. We're coming back soon, hopefully. Yeah. And on a more
He's so flustered after what just
on a
happened.
more somber note, I would like, I know by the time this comes out it'll be 2 weeks past, but I would like to say, on benefit of myself and the rest of us here, and of course the Shawn Walsh Show, condolences and rest in peace to the great American dream, Dusty Rhodes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to say that as we did lose a very big part of the wrestling community, and you know, for all of us who do CAW, it's all up to what our voice is. And if there was one person out there who was able to cut a promo better than anyone, it was the American Dream.
Yeah.
So with that, I would like to thank Shawn for letting me host. Hopefully, I'll be back. I probably won't after that last comment. But
You think so?
maybe I'll get brownie points for the Dusty thing. But I would like to thank our guests, of course, Austin, Levi, Ego. I'm Adam, and
Yep.
we'll see you soon.
Peace.
Go subscribe to Netflix.